Hi, my name is Jessica Goodman, and my assignment is on participatory culture. Participatory culture is the online experience of having kids' independence on social media platforms like Twitter, Wattpad, and YouTube. The idea is to take this culture and apply it into the classroom. The pedagogy of interest-driven learning is something teachers can begin to introduce to their classrooms so that the kids will begin to engage more in their studies. However, when a teacher decides to apply this method, they will have to keep in mind the participation gap, the transparency problem, and the ethics challenge. Not every child has access to the same technology as some of their classmates do, so teachers need to accommodate that every child is able to do their work just as well as their peers. Teachers also need to be aware children on the way some of these platforms can shape their view of the world around them, and how they would be influencing other people's ideas too. Although this new way of learning can be very beneficial, it can also hinder the child's future because if a teacher were to decide to not have tests, it could affect the child's test-taking skills when faced with the SATs. One of the positives about proposing participatory culture is that it shows kids that the classroom is a safe space for children to explore their interests in social media and pronounce on their creativity. This is where they make the switch from consuming media and beginning to become producers. Kids struggle with the idea of creating something without having a set of guidelines and rubric telling them what to do. And with this switch, it would begin to shape kids into becoming more comfortable with the idea of taking something you're learning and putting your own ideas into it. I like the idea of proposing participatory culture in the classroom to a certain extent. One of the biggest problems with middle to high school age learning is that kids are becoming more and more uninterested as the years go on. If teachers were to switch the focus onto how to incorporate the kids' interests into the classroom, then kids would be more willing to learn. I remember my economics teacher from high school would give kids extra credit if they would tweet her a photo of gas prices and where it was at and why they thought the prices were lower or higher wherever the station was at. This made the thought of school almost as normal as getting on Twitter. This is where participatory culture in the classroom is a very big positive. However, the downside of applying this into the classroom is that kids are very easily distracted when it comes to social media. With how fast things can go from being just another tweet to trending in the world makes them feel like they will always be behind when it comes to the latest trends. Overall, I like what participatory culture is and what it stands for. And if it were to become a social norm in the classroom, it would be beneficial to both the teacher and the student.